So, today I'd like to react to a video of the Vanguard reacting to Jackson Hinkle talking about the Magacommunism movement and debating it on the Jimmy Dore show. Now, in regard to Magacommunism, I support Magacommunism, and let me explain why. The elected left, they do not the people who are people in the Democratic Party, the squad, the elected Democrats, they do not represent the left. They despise people who are actual leftists, like Jimmy Dore and Jackson Hinkle. The reason they despise these people is because they actually speak the truth and call out powers that be. They don't suck up to them. And when you look, however, and I'm also a Marxist. I eventually believe that the working class has to unite. That's the only way that we're going to have a proletariat revolution against the bourgeoisie. And that would mean that you have to unite with workers who are socially conservative. And if you actually speak to people who are MAGA, people who voted for Trump, they agree with people on people who are socially conservative. They agree with people who are on the left on many issues. They support Medicare for all. They are pro unionization. They are against debt slavery. They are in favor of ending the wars. They are in favor of pulling out of NATO. They're in favor of abolishing the FBI and the CIA. They're left wing on a whole host of stuff. And in fact, I myself would consider myself to be socially conservative on certain issues. For example, I don't like the certain school curriculums that democratic governments have been passing where they're teaching kids sex ed and telling them that they're trans and putting them on puberty blockers when they're 5. I'm against that. And there's something that, and so let's see. So that's what Jackson Hinkle supports. That's what MAGA communism is about. So let's look at this Vanguard clip and see how what Zach and Gavin have to say about it.
Now, Jackson, there's been a lot of controversy as of late about MAGA communism. And so I want you to tell us what is, because no one can really define what it is. And the people who seem to like to talk about it the most won't talk to you directly about it. So sure. I want you to tell me what is MAGA communism?
MAGA communism is an idea that I didn't come up with. Haas of the Infrared Show, who we went out to dinner in LA together. He's a good guy.
I remember Haas.
Yeah, so he came up with it. The idea is that a lot of the left in America right now is not aligned with us on the issues that matter most when it comes to defeating big tech, nationalizing big tech, protecting free speech, abolishing the CIA, the FBI, going against the endless wars, these sorts of things, going against big pharma, big agriculture. They kind of run in line with the average Democratic Party sentiment. And the working class, which not in its entirety, but I would say in large part makes up the MAGA movement, is aligned with communists on this issue, or leftists, whatever. But there definitely is a strong line that can be drawn between Marxists and MAGA on this very issue, or on these very issues. And at the end of the day, I think that what we've seen undoubtedly from the Trump administration in their 4 years is that it was either consciously or in some cases unconsciously doing the bidding of the deep state. We saw that countless times throughout the Trump administration. So
I got to address some of the substance of this conversation so far, and just of this whole idea of MAGA communism, which is fucking just completely patently stupid, absurd. It's like saying, I'm a Joe Biden communist. Like, what? That doesn't mean anything.
It's like the literal joke that we used to make about Vosh being an anarcho-Bidenist. It's that reality. It's that level of fucking, like, hysteria. It's like you take an actual joke. Because, I mean, obviously this is all about clicks and all about, like, fucking catching attention and being as outrageous and fucking brash and oxymoronic as possible.
Well, that, but also just setting the stage for him to start making pro-Trump content. He already is making pro-Trump content, but he's setting the stage so come the 2020...
He's setting the stage to make pro-Trump content. I mean, so what if he makes pro-Trump content? Fact of the matter is, I think Trump is a lot better than the people in the Democratic Party right now. People in the Democratic Party, they're pro FBI. They're pro big tech censorship. They're pro deep state. They're pro proxy war in Ukraine. Trump doesn't support any of those things. Fact of the matter is, Trump had a lot of good ideas when he was in office. His campaign was against neoliberal globalization. That's the reason why people in the Rust Belt lost their jobs. And he said, "I'm going to bring your jobs back." People like to credit Joe Biden for pulling out of Afghanistan, but he wouldn't have been able to pull out of Afghanistan if it weren't for Trump, for the deal Donald Trump made with the Taliban to get us out of Afghanistan. So you can thank Trump for that. Trump developed the vaccines. He developed the vaccines that the Democrats want to force everyone in their body against their will. Thank Trump for that. And there's a lot of good things Trump would have done, who he wanted to do. It was Trump's idea to give people $2,000 checks to help them give them social assistance during the pandemic. Joe Biden wanted to be weaselly and water it down to a total of 2,000, 1,400 plus the 600 they already received. Trump certainly wouldn't have had Pelosi go to Taiwan. He threatening America's relationships with China. Trump would have put her in place because Trump is a leader, and so I'm unconvinced that Trump is so bad. And so when it comes to the 2024 presidential candidates, people who possibly running, I would put Jimmy Dore first and then Donald Trump second. Jimmy Dore, he's talked about running Republican. I don't care which party Jimmy Dore runs in, because I'd vote for Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore would be my first pick, and then Donald Trump second. So they want you to believe that this movement isn't happening. Megacommunism is happening. They want you to think that people who are on the left, people who are Marxists like myself, cannot reach out to working class conservatives who are MAGA. But the fact of the matter, they can, and they are. So this movement is happening, and we're gonna find, and the powers that be, they're in for a rude awakening in the 2024 election. So Zach and Gavin aren't interested in Magacommunism because all they want to do is create drama and get views. So there you have it.